Where are we gonna go? Why is the world so cold? Will the Lord save my soul? Who's really in control? Will the truth ever be told? Nobody really knows.
This is video
Oh, hell no.
of Marine Drive in North. If you've driven here lately or ridden your bike, you know the area is jarring. Same goes for nearby 33rd. So our team at The Story kept it simple. Tuesday morning, we met Jim Carr and Mark Blanchard, two viewers who had written in with specific concern.
Is my car in your way, Stu?
Not at all.
No. Okay.
We'll start with Carr. He wanted to meet at well 15 near Northeast 185th.
It's clearly a city well.
A city well and part of Portland's drinking water
Oh,
infrastructure.
yeah, I
One of
didn't know
many
that.
along the Marine Drive area here.
Carr is a retired Portland Parks employee with a background in horticulture. His fear? What's growing around the well, just outside that chain link fence. A large
I
homeless
did see
camp
that.
with cars and RVs sitting in inches of mud.
You have vehicles that are being stripped down. You have the antifreeze, all the fluids from the vehicles, all of that is now migrating down into the watershed.
In other words, Carr worries those fluids and perhaps even human waste could eventually make their way into Portland's drinking water.
For us,
The drinking water is safe, adding the aquifers that feed this well are solid and nearly 200 feet below ground. Carr thinks officials should take this more seriously. Blanchard suggested we follow him on his bike to the spot that strikes him most. So we headed west toward I-205. This is what that area looks like. Cars, tents,
Jesus.
a burned out RV wrapped in plastic.
Why did you... There's a car coming in behind you, by the way.
We started to interview Blanchard when this happened.
They going home, nigga. They going to their crib.
I was born.
Blanchard said Portland's struggle with rising crime and an overwhelmed police bureau seems undeniable here. Recently, someone stole his sister-in-law's car. She found it, he says, in this camp. It was stripped and totaled.
It wasn't.
Back at well 15, another man camping here told me he works and can afford an apartment, but he has a record, possession of a stolen car. So no landlords, he says, will rent to him.
We're not happy when people just dump stolen cars here in the first place.
Derek was the only person comfortable talking to us. He says people live out here along the river in the elements because it's a community. They feel safe with each other, and they know people don't want them near homes and businesses.
We're humans, and we don't appreciate being talked to like we're trash. So we're just trying to survive just like everybody else. We're just having a little harder time.
Some
I
heads
worked
need to
in the middle
roll.
of that shit, so I'm very familiar with it. I literally worked in the middle of Old Town downtown, so I witnessed it firsthand. I don't know how much my issue was the cleanliness of it, because it's legal for them just to take a shit on the sidewalk.
It's legal?
It's legal.
Wait, whoa.
This town don't bother anybody unless you got a job and you paying taxes. They don't want to bother no one but those
They
folks.
they literally have a cleanup crew. When I would go to work and somebody come outside in front of my business and take a shit, I would call the downtown cleanup crew and they would have to come and clean the shit up.
Wow. Unbelievable.
All day.
So I could just walk down the street
and take a shit.
You can't because you couldn't do that because they would see that you might have a little money in your pocket. No, you're going to spend the night and you're going to pay some fines and some other shit. That's it. This is how they work. One of my coworkers, there was this chick that's outside the job all the time, sitting on there, and she was having a bad meth trip, right? She went down there, grabbed a mallet, and went busted out one of my coworkers' windows, each one, sunroof and everything. And we had to put her vehicle in the warehouse for a week waiting for, you know, the insurance people not to come see it.
So why did they
call the cops out? Check it out.
Why did she point her out though? I'm interested to know.
She did because she was having a bad meth trip. It was an easy vehicle to get to, sitting alone in the dark on the side, you know, across the street. But she walked a block to go and bust her windows out. Then cops came. Cops were nice, and they put her butt inside the cop car and whatever. And then they explained what was going on, and that she would have to prosecute. And they also said, hey, she's probably going to be out in the morning time. They're just going to give her a couple hours, you know, kind of like a detox thing, and they're going to let her back out. By the time I got to work the next morning, this bride was fully clothed, looked like she had been showered and everything else, and was out sweeping the sidewalk. And sweeping the street, not the sidewalk. There was a bunch of garbage around where her tent and stuff was. But yeah. She basically assaulted and got out, and she will never have anything to worry about because what do? You prosecute her, put her behind bars. She's mentally challenged. Then she's on meth. You know, she's out on the street. But it's like they have no solution for it. None. Right. You know,
well,
it's horrible.
Because I know in your neighborhood,
they let them run around with machetes. They let them piss and shit. They let them have sex. They let them shoot up.
Hold on, we've heard plenty outside of my job.
Really quickly. I want to get everybody's opinion on this. So, Ivory, what are your thoughts on this? Because I know in the area you live in, you know, when I'm going to work out off of 122nd, when I get off on that exit off of 84, it's like a city, a little city that's right over there. You know, you turn in, it's just a bunch of blue tents.
Right.
So for you, tell me a little bit about your thoughts and your experiences.
So before it really got hectic and they went to Marine Drive, they were starting to load up on Sandy. And so I'm like five blocks off that in like a little area, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so I'd have to drive and see that shit twice a day. You know what I'm saying? And one dude kind of tried to park his little shit in the middle of in the neighborhood.
Right.
And man, he had an RV, he had a truck, then came another truck, then another car, and then bro, they had a bucket under their sewage line. So you know it was leaking. You see what I'm saying? I mean, and we called the police, like all the neighbors, we called the police. And the guy said, you know, he's going to tell him to move. He said, but technically, if they move it either 6 feet or 8 feet, I can't remember the footage, but if they move it either forward or backwards, that's good for another 7 or 9 days or whatever the case may be. And he said they know that. The homeless people, they know them rules, bro.
Right.
But if you in my shit, you got to go, man. I'll pop your tires, man.
Then they really ain't gonna be able to go, man. Then they're gonna be sitting there trying to get it out of there. You're gonna call a tow and get them out of there. I feel you.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so I went to Pam was responding to Adolf Hitler Nazi Party kill. She said they are letting social media give them false sense of security, feeling safe behind the computer. Fuck them. And I agree, Pam. Thank you for that. And what's up? Thanks for joining again. But yeah, no, the homeless situation in Portland is crazy. Everywhere I go, even when and it's like in Vancouver. At first, I didn't see it over in Vancouver as much. And then I noticed when I'm on the exit that I get off on my way to work, as soon as I pull up, it's like it's a little city or a little village, a blue tent.
You don't see that shit out here in Beaverton at all.
So what is Beaverton doing? Because I'm telling you, man,
I'm driving down the street right now. I don't ever see
there's
that
some
shit
ordinances there. You can't do certain things you can do in inside the regular city.
So if you go east on 84,
what's that?
And you take the Hood River exit, the city of Hood River, they have given them like one of those exits like for rest stop. They gave the homeless people that area because it's outside of the city. They don't want that shit inside their city, bro.
Right.
I mean, we got to do something like that, man.
Well, but they have throughout the city. They have did that, but the problem is the guys that They don't. Where are they going to take those big ass campers? Those campers, they're not letting them put those in there. You know.